Nigeria, I mean, the fact that this issue has not gotten on people's radar.
Right, no one's talking about it.
It's pretty amazing. If you don't know what's going on in Nigeria, your media sources suck. You are in a bubble. And again, I'm not a Christian, but they are systematically killing the Christians in Nigeria. They've killed over 100,000 since 2009. They've burned 18,000 churches. This is so much more. These are their Islamists, Boko Haram. This is so much more of a genocide attempt than what is going on in Gaza. They are literally attempting to wipe out the Christian population of an entire country. Where are the kids protesting this?
Thank you. Thank you. Because no one will talk about it. So thank you.
You may know that northern Nigeria is one of the most dangerous places in the world to be a Christian. They came through, they killed 17 people. Wow. At night, attackers came and attacked the pastor of this church and his family. They took him and his family, walked them over to these rocks over here, where they killed them and beheaded them.
My people, my family members, they died in this house. 11, and some died in the other store. 8, some died here. My whole family members that died yesterday, day before yesterday, on that very day, there were 20. That is my own family members. I'm not talking about any other thing. That is my own family members. This is my store. Those shops are my stores. Those places are being burned. Those places, this place is being burned. Here and up, my house is up there. That place also is burned. And the store where I pack my goods, I store my goods everywhere has burned. They burned my clothes, they burned everything, they burned our food, all my family members. What we came out with is our clothes, what we wear. And I, standing here, this is what I came out with. And this is the only thing that I have. There's no anything with me.
Can you recount the incident as it happened that particular day? Tell us what happened. What did you hear? What did you see?
On that very day, rain started in the evening. So we entered, I slept there. So I was sleeping around 10:20. We had gunshot at back there. So before we could notice that something has happened, Fulani men, they entered this place.
How are you sure they are Fulani men?
Because they were speaking and I was inside the room and I heard them clearly. Not somebody told me. I was inside the room there and they surrounded that room. I escaped narrowly. My brothers born in this house. Some escaped. My dad born in this house.
Genocide against Christians in Nigeria has escalated with yet another gruesome killing spree, this time in the Christian-majority southern Kaduna area. Truth Nigeria's Mike Ode James joins us now. Mike, what can you tell us?
Thanks, Raj, for having me. These killings happened 3 nights ago in a village called Wake Village. And it is located in the southern part of Kaduna State, which is also part of the Middle Belt. And on Sunday night, about 10 o'clock, Fulani militants stormed the village of Wake and started shooting sporadically into the village. And they killed about 7 persons there were killed. And when the next village of Gidanadaji heard the gunshot, they decided to mobilize their local security and see if they could help out the people of Wake. As the youth from Gidanadaji were going to Wake village to see if they could help out, they were ambushed by the same Fulani headsmen, Fulani terrorists, and 2 of them were killed, bringing the number to about 9. So right now we have about 9 people killed and about 5 were critically injured. I learned 1 also died, but I cannot confirm that. And the rest were taken to the hospital. The car was burnt and some houses were burnt. Now you will ask again, who are the perpetrators? Of course, they are Fulani militants. That is what we were told. Because I was at Kachia yesterday And what my people sources told me, they said they were shouting, Allahu Akbar, will exterminate you, this infidel. That means Allah is great. We are going to wipe you off the face of the earth. And for now, that is how it is. The village of Wake is in mourning. People of Gidanadaje too, they are mourning because they lost 2 young warriors who went to rescue or help out their neighbors. So right now we are having a terrible situation.
Another horrific massacre against Christians in Nigeria to report on. 27 people, including a 3-year-old girl, have been killed in the most barbaric of ways. Masara Kim, a reporter for Truth Nigeria, joins us now. Masara, what can you tell us about this absolutely barbaric atrocity?
Yeah, so on the in the early hours of yesterday, that's July the 14th, a group of terrorists shouting Allahu Akbar on a long convoy of motorcycles, estimated by locals to be between 30 to 40, swarmed the peaceful town of Bindi, located about 35 miles southwest of Jos, the capital of Plateau State, killing at least at the moment 27 people that have been identified, majority of whom were burned alive in their homes, including a 3-month-old baby and a 3-year-old baby. In my report for Truth Nigeria, I mentioned the 3-year-old victim without realizing that as I left, the body of a 3-month-old baby was also identified, and the search has continued with many more members of the community, many more residents still unaccounted for at the moment.
Burned alive? What do you mean? They were trapped in their house? I mean, what exactly? Oh, I don't even. Oh. As a father, this is disgusting. But what can you tell us about that detail? Burned alive. What do you mean?
Yeah, so these terrorists swarmed communities, broke into homes, and literally poured gas. They poured fuel on the sleeping residents and set the houses on fire. I mean, a local pastor who spoke to us, I shared his photo with you, said he was hiding in a gold room just within his compound of 2 brick buildings when they broke into his flats where 9 members of his family were sleeping, and he could literally hear them screaming and shouting for help, but absolutely no one could come to their help because the terrorists, more than 30 of them, had swarmed the compound. Some of them had gone into the rooms where these innocent residents were sleeping, and they had literally poured fuel on them and set the house on fire. So he could literally hear them screaming on top of their voices and shouting for help, but definitely no one came to their help until they could no longer scream, they could no longer breathe. And in fact, when I got to that compound earlier at sunrise yesterday, the bodies of these victims were still smoking. You know, the houses were still burning and their bodies were still smoking. And many of the videos that I've shared with you might not be good for the screen, but I mean, it's important to understand the horrifying nature of these attacks, which, by the way, follow a pattern of violence by these terrorists who have killed more than 1,000 people in the last 10 months. Just in Plateau State alone. Genocide deniers again would like to say that no, this is just another instance of sedentary farmers clashing with semi-nomadic herders who happen to be members of the Fulani ethnicity. But no, this attack happened and started from 3 a.m. and lasted up to 5 a.m. Nobody was in their farm. Nobody was clashing with anybody. Nobody was, in fact, these innocent babies and women and children that were hacked down and burned alive on their beds. They were nowhere at a place where that qualifies as a battleground or battlefield that one can say, oh yes, this was a clash. And even if there is anything like a clash going on, what clash happens at that time of the night? And in fact, it was these terrorists who came to the residence of these Christians, and then they hacked down and burnt several people, including innocent babies, who, by the way, don't even have any understanding of any situation whatsoever. Neither do they have any strength and even the charisma, the strength to carry any weapon and go into battle. So of course, this is just pure genocide, targeting chiefly and exclusively Christians. Whether you are a genuine Christian or not, as long as you identify as a Christian, you are slaughtered. And this pastor that I mentioned, by the way, said he heard them celebrate, shouting Allahu Akbar, saying to themselves in the Hausa dialect, we have conquered the infidels. We have conquered the infidels, as they broke down the door of the church which faces the compound and smashed musical instruments, smashed Bibles, smashed the pulpit, smashed chairs and everything else that they could find, while celebrating their victory. Against who? Against the Christians. They went through and passed several Fulani and Muslim communities and did nothing to them. But when they got to this Christian community, they massacred people and retreated unchallenged into the surrounding mountains. And as I speak with you, residents still tell us that they could still see signs of these terrorists lurking around, possibly planning another attack.
Masara, I so admire your passion for this subject, and I hope we're doing a good job of telling this story. Unfortunately, we've told this story so many times. This keeps happening. And that's the really frustrating part is, this isn't a war where a bomb gets dropped and, there's civilian casualties. This is systematic extermination. And I mean, using machetes to hack people to death, set people on fire using gasoline. This is ethnic cleansing. This is genocide at the most, this is the definition of that. And I know I'm getting frustrated. You're frustrated. I'm sure people watching this are frustrated. There's just crickets in the world. I mean, maybe someone will say something every once in a while, but it's for the most part, this story gets ignored. Again, I pray that we don't have to do another story like this, but I'm sure we will. But Masara, in closing, again, and you've done this time and time again, I can feel your frustration. I share it, my brother.
Absolutely.
What do you want the West to do? What do you want the United States to do?
The same energy that has been applied on the Iran-Israel war, the same energy that is being applied on the Ukraine-Russian war should be applied on the Islamic jihadist terrorist attacks on Christians in Nigeria. The plan is to annihilate the Christian populations and take over Africa's most populous country, starting with the largest Christian states of Plateau and Benue, and of course expanding to other parts of the Middle Belt and the entire country, with the aim of capturing the entire African continent as the beginning, or at least the part of the first step toward conquering the entire world. So the West, President Trump needs to step up to this. 5 years ago, he made a bold statement by asking the former president of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, why are you killing Christians in Nigeria? And that helped a lot to reduce some of the atrocities and the violations even by the Nigerian authorities. And of course, as he went further to impose a CPC level. But after President Trump, Joe Biden came and lifted that sanction, and the atrocities have continued to mount and escalate. President Trump needs to do something as a lover of humanity, as a lover of religious freedom, as a lover of human rights, as a lover of Christians, to make sure that these attacks are stopped. And beyond that, Christians all over the world need to pray and rise up in solidarity with Christians in Nigeria and support in any way that they can. You can as well support through any non-profit of your choice. At the moment, I don't know any better profit than Equipping the Persecuted, which is doing, which has boots on the ground and is helping, thousands of Christians. But again, you can choose any platform to reach out through.
We praise your name, Jesus Christ, to protect us, to guide us, Lord, to see us through, to fight for us, to give us hope in the name of Jesus. America, please stand for us. We are dying. America, I'm begging, save our life. Look at this one. Let's use them. Please, why allowed us to survive? Please, send your men to come and save us. Because they have already finished the finish us. Also, we have nobody. Only God in heaven can stand for us. Please, I'm begging you, United Nations, your silence is getting worse. Yesterday, one of my colleagues, Reverend, was slaughtered with his wife and his children. And I'm right here, look at women. Immediately they were communicating. After the flood, the husband had really burned down 2 villages. Then the soldiers came in, trying to cause confusion. And who are these army men that are using machine motorcycles? They shoot. God will stand for us. We have nobody. Everybody, we are now ready to do the last prayer. This Islamic agenda is taking over the nations. Now live at the police station in Barkiladi. Look at those at the IDPs. We have nobody to stand, and we're at the survival. Now more IDPs are being added. Where did they want to go? They have already signed our land, has been relocated to them. They have signed our villages, have been relocated to Fulani husband, and nobody is talking. Even my colleagues, reverends, are keeping quiet. Women are dying every day. Men are dying. What do you want us to do? Please, I'm begging you, congressmen of London, please, stand for the helpless. They have nobody. Burudai, I know you are a friend of mine in Facebook.